Howdy, howdy. In this video, I'm going to do some commentary over a game I played in the Tabletop Discord Tournament. This is where we got, I don't remember how many players, 32, 16. A lot of people are in the Discord that organized a game. There was a bracket created, and we are finally in the finale. But since I've been knocked out, quite humbly, by the way, I decided to go ahead and record my video, share the screen recordings that I did have with permission of my opponents. I got all the games but one of them. And in this game, I'm battling against JayFire88 in the Discord. And Jay is a trooper. As with the online tournaments, what we found out is if you don't really have a scheduled time and you just put a deadline out there, it's going to take the full week. So if you give your people 7 days to do something, it's kind of like homework. They will take 7 days to do it. And unfortunately, me and Jay, our schedules were not matching. He was working like an opposite schedule of me. And so we finally got a game in. Everyone in the tournament was waiting for us before we could move on to the next bracket. In fact, I think before I even quit the tabletop game software, the bracket was already updated. Like, that's how much people were ready to move on. But Jay was a trooper, and we played this game, and I recorded the screen of it, the visuals of it. I don't have audio of me and Jay. That's something I'm going to try to work on. That's something that I need to figure out how to do with the software that I have, so we can stream it in Discord for the community, but then also record it with the audio, but not cut off. I might have to record with a different mic. I'm not sure. But anyways, this was a great game. Jay was a very fantastic opponent, very strategic. There are a lot of things that I learned, not only to play the game, but in how to pilot my deck. And once again, we're coming out with more ways to play this deck. So the deck is essentially Reanimate, but it is not true Umberthine. It's got Foulwind splashed into it to give me some ways to get some extra actions, get some extra card draw, get some extra energy. You'll see all of those cards come into play in this game, and it was a great game. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to tell you right now, at the end, I did have to concede because, again, we were crunched for time. The schedule was just awful for me. I think there were probably, if I had some more time and some more clarity, and if I was in the right mindset, I wouldn't have made so many blunders. Probably would have seen some additional play lines. Even during my commentary, I comment on a big blunder that I made. Definitely the wrong play, but also a couple play lines that I should have explored more, but I just didn't have the time. So I think it's very important when you do these online tournaments casually, they're fine. But when you're in tournament, when you're in the game and you want to win, it's just like playing football, baseball, riding a bull. You know, you got to go out there and you got to fight the fight. And this game, I was just not into the fight of it. So congratulations, JayFire. And I just made so many blunders. This is probably I'm going to be honest, there were several times throughout the video I was like, man, do I even want to post this? But no, I want to post it. I want to share it with you guys. And there's a lot of insights that I gained that I hope you can gain as well as you watch this. So let's go into the battle commentary. Also, I realized that I forgot to cut out the long pauses in my last video. So in this one, it may jump around a little bit more, but there will be a lot less pauses. I'm going to go through and get rid of all the pauses. And then we'll come back after the game for a rundown. All right, starting off with a shuffle and a draw. Looking at my hand here, just the one land. Not too happy with that. We do have the Foulwind with no link, but I think we're going to go ahead and try it. Pole pose we have two of. Deciding on whether or not to get rid of a more expensive card like Curse. I mean, Curse isn't expensive, but you got to have the cards out. So I'm just going to mulligan those two. And no more land. So we're going to have to do this off of a wing and a prayer. But let's see what we can get happening here. So I'm going to go first on this one. And here we go. First game against JayFire. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to deny 2 with the Crypt Reach Province. And unfortunately not hit anything. Some of these denial abilities like Crypt Reach Province really need to be played later in the game when you've kind of thinned out your deck and you have some kind of an idea of what you're going to hit. And Jay plays Twilight March, so I know I'm going up against something with Umberthine. Clear Sky Eerie, great card to draw. I want it for that Foulwind link. Gives me something good here. I hate using an action to draw, but I just didn't have anything to play. And he's going to Ethereal Grove, the Twilight Marsh, I believe. Yep. So Ethereal Grove, I'm thinking that's just going to have to go in all my decks. Because, I mean, you can Ethereal Grove um, your own mythic lands. So, you know, you could technically run a couple of Clear Sky Eries or a couple of Witch Wardens. So, yeah, I mean, that seems kind of like a no-brainer. I think everyone's going to need... Basically, Ethereal Grove is going to give you duplicates of the lands in your deck. So I think that's... You know what? That might be pretty close to that new Black Lotus. Is that what it was called? Or Birds of Paradise? Maybe it's more like Birds of Paradise? I don't know. Been a while since I played Magic. Next hand, I'm going to draw Remains of Barnabas. Not the best hand to start with, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is try to overdraw my hand so I can try to get some of these wonders in the graveyard, or in the abyss, excuse me, and maybe that'll help me get some activation here. And, we're going to get the land from Jay next. And, you know, that Caden Wind Whisperer, he's really nice when he goes into the abyss, but I've been having problems getting him into the abyss. I think that's going to be one of the cards that I get rid of in the next iteration of this deck. All right, now we draw, and now we get Boundless Link, which I don't really use this land for the Boundless Link. I use it, of course, for the extra actions on turn 7 usually. But I think as I reiterate on this deck, I think I'm going to add a little bit more, a little bit more Boundless. Even Nexus would work with this deck because you can copy something in banishment. So if I have to banish an Autumn or banish something else, or actually I guess maybe is it copy an item? I'll have to look that up later. But it could work well in this deck because there's a couple things that get banished that Nexus can help me bring back. And drawing again with the Blackthorn Banshee. I don't have enough wonders in the Abyss, so I might just have to use this turn to overdraw. I don't like overdrawing. Granted, the way the turn worked out, the way this game worked out, I'm still happy with how I did because I overdrew. But yeah, I think with some more skill piloting, I could have made my way out of this. Probably what I should have done is maybe try to Korvox my hand. Excuse me, Korvox the Stratus. That would help me discard my whole hand. Because I'm discovering like there's always going to be cards you want to hold and play, but sometimes you just got to put your deck in you got to put your hand in the abyss. And so since I'm unhappy with how I'm doing with this turn, I'm going to go ahead and use the Crypt Reach Province to get an action. That way, if you have to draw, that way I can actually play something, get a stone, and have some energy to work with next time. Or I'll just draw. Crystal Mouse will give me some cards, so yeah, this might have to be a turn where I just really, really try to overdraw. But first I'll go ahead and play a Blackthorn Banshee. That way I can discard some stuff in my hand, pump it up, and get some cards, some extra card draw as well. So in a turn, I got to start discarding, you end the round and then you discard. So in case you're playing Remains of Barnabas, if you discard them, you don't get them back on the board that turn. So I think that was well done. So now at this point, I just need to decide what do I want to put in the graveyard. Flying Suzzur is a card that really does well in the graveyard. It can just sit there as a potential threat. Your opponent knows that it's there, knows how many negative counters, and it just helps your opponent second guess itself. I also like to bring it back in the realm with Clear Sky Eerie. That helps it trigger twice, and it can take 2 cards off the board, which is a lot of fun. So Flying Suzzur, highly recommend to live in the Abyss. And I get my extra card with Blackthorn Banshee, working just as intended. Summon Crushing Rock is a little bit of a nuclear option. I'm finding Desolation is a little bit of a better play in some matches. But Summon Crushing Rock is great because I can put Barney in a lane with something that I want to kill, play Summon Crushing Rock. Barney's going to come back, but that lane has nothing in it usually. So I still like the card. And now I have to weigh my options here. And again, in hindsight, I should have played the Stratos out of the Abyss. Or the Stratus in my hand, since it's in my hand. Because I just need to get these cards. The thing is, I'm looking at the marketplace, I'm looking at the mouse. Of course, I'm looking at the Korvox. And it's tough to decide when to discard your hand, especially because you always have cards you want to play, right? That's why you put the cards in your deck, because you want to play these cards. So it stinks to discard it. But I'm going to go ahead and play Stratos, so that way I can at least defend him from getting the stone, and then maybe attack. And that'll help me discard everything. Okay, so for some reason, Stratos' arrival didn't fire off. So I'm not sure what card is preventing it from firing. So I did not discard my hand, and I mean, he was looking at it too, and so I'm not sure what is blocking it. Now, unfortunately, I did not. This is my first time playing a token deck, and I didn't realize that Deep Pincer was on attack to generate a token. So he gets at least the tie there, and then he can eliminate Stratos. And unfortunately, I was a misplay. That was just me not knowing his deck. It's not just enough to know your deck. You have to know your opponent's deck as well. Or if not know your opponent's deck, know the archetype. Know what it's supposed to do. Oh, Stratos is tapped. That's right. Stratos is not on arrival. It's on tap that you discard your hand. So now I get to play my market. Trying to decide if I want to put it in 2 or 3 because I don't know what he's going to do. One thing I still need to get educated on is what cards can do to lands. And, of course, what kind of decks or orbitals those cards live in. And that's one of the interesting things about Wonders is the core cards. You know, in Magic, you know you're going to play a single, or I guess a mono, or a double colored deck. So you know some of the cards that they're not going to play because they literally can't play, for example, a black card or a white card. But in Wonders, you can put Mouse in any deck. You can put Seer's Gaze in any deck. You can put the Battery card in any deck. Like, it's the diversity that you can create because, I don't know, I'm going to say half, but it's probably not half. So many other cards are not core, so you can play them in any deck. I mean, that feels like it exponentially increases the deck building potential. Because really the only thing you have to splash is just if you want to play core cards. And even then, there are ways to play core cards without needing to play them. So unfortunately, Blackthorn Banshee's going to go bye-bye. And I hate to do it, but I'm going to draw on that last turn. Wave Whisper Bay is nice. And I don't mind tapping a land if it gives me some kind of benefit to play another land. But this is not going to be one of those benefits. So we're just going to go ahead and kill the turn. And we're going to go to round 4. And I got to get Barney out. And I pretty much have to decide, do I want to protect realm 1 or 3? Usually I'm going to protect 1 because if you have 1, you can go for the tie. And that's kind of, you can see I'm trying to decide, do I want to go 3 or 1? And I don't know why I went 3. So here I can play Cursed Passages. I need to get better about playing cards like ahead of time. Cards like Cursed Passages, Phoenix Quill, I tend to hold. And I think I hold them for too long. Baron, of course, is a good option because that's just going to keep getting bigger. Carvo can bring something back. The question is there anything to bring back? I can bring back the Suzzer and do some damage to a couple of tokens. Stratos, man, I should have brought him back. I'm just too greedy with my hand. Another reason maybe I shouldn't run Stratos in this deck. But we'll go ahead and Wave Whisper Bay. And of course, this was before I knew that you can just right-click on your deck, search 1, and it'll just show you the top card of your deck. So I was like, okay, I'm flipping my card over, don't look. And I got to do it, try to do it quickly, and hopefully I see the card and know the card that's coming, to whether to put it back or to bury it. Now I can play Crystal Mouse here. That'll give me some more card draw, help me fill my abyss. Drawing cards is one of the least economical ways to fill your abyss. But sometimes it's the only thing you can do. So Crystal Mouse, you know, maybe I can get an attack off and then sacrifice it to get the benefit. It's really going to come down to if he's going to play something in Realm 4 or not. And there he plays Richard Grumpkin. This one makes me a little bit nervous because I just don't know when he's going to activate it to really make me have to worry. Moonfire, Crystal Mouse. Man, why did I not attack with it? I guess I wanted the card draw. But I should have attacked and then sacrificed. I don't know. I guess that's a blunder. And if y'all don't know, blunder is from backgammon. Because there are certain mathematical moves like
A computer can basically map out all the different outcomes based on where the pieces are, and it knows the best move. I don't know if they have the same thing in chess, but if you make a move that's under a certain threshold, so like say you have 8 moves in front of you that you can make, 5 of them are game winning, 2 of them are like less than ideal, but then there's like one obvious terrible don't do this choice. That's called a blunder. So if you take that, it's a blunder. Now different levels of competition will change the threshold of what a blunder is. So you can watch even the world championships and they'll still make blunder moves because first of all, that's how great and difficult backgammon can be. But second of all, even champions make mistakes. Anyways, Jay's gonna tap for or harvest for an action for some reason. I'm not sure why. I still got way too many cards. I'm still too greedy. Can't attack round 3. I should have attacked with mouse first. What a blunder. I can play another Crypt Reach, try to deny and get a land on the board. But let's go with Pulpo. Beef up Realm 3, maybe take that stone, maybe protect it. Charging Pulpo and Barney, great combination. And of course I gotta go through and clear all my powers because I do not pay attention to those stupid trackers in the middle of the board. They don't exist to me. And he's gonna play the Grimoire. Fire Grimoire. He's setting up something to really protect the stone, I guess, if he gets it. Well, not to protect the stone, but to get the stone. Draw some cards at the same time. I love that art. I think that forms foil of the Fire Grimoire is legit. But we're just going to end the turn here and let's go to round 5. Barney's going to come back into 4. And at this point, I'm thinking, I remember thinking to myself, man, if he can zoo out into each realm, I'm in trouble. I just don't have the cards to really make a difference here, to fill out the realms. So we get a Crypt Reach, and hey, there's the Twilight Marsh with Eternal. That's going to come out. And let's just put a land in each realm. There's a Caden. But again, it's a very niche kind of special situational card. And I'd rather bring something else out of the graveyard, of the Abyss. So I think that's something you have to decide, like if you're going to put a card in here, I think you need to look at what situations you're going to want to bring that card out of the Abyss and what situations you would want to go for one of your other cards. And I'm sure there's a threshold there, maybe 50%, that you want to hit. Like 50% of the time, I'd like to take them out of my Abyss anytime. And then 50% of the time, I'd like to probably take something else. And Caden Wind Whisper is just not hitting that threshold.
Right, so he's going to tap his item there, his Heliosynth. And I've got a decision to make. Unfortunately, this game really is coming down to just the cards I can draw. The name of the game for me is to try to draw into something that can help me get these stones and keep these stones. Because I have a feeling, since he's really holding off on these other stones, he's got something coming. So I'm going to go ahead and Caravox, and at this point I made a little mistake. For some reason I thought the Clear Sky Eerie was going to trigger twice, trigger the Flying Scissor twice, so Caravox into Clear Sky, which would then trigger twice to let me bring 2 things back, but Flying Scissor would also trigger twice. But no, Jay had to remind me that Clear Sky only works once per turn, and that's once per turn. Whenever something arrives here, trigger its new on arrival twice. So that's why you got to play these games, because I mean you don't know what you don't know. You misread a card one time, you assume it's that way every time. And I think in my next game I have another blunder, like, well, it's not even a blunder. I have another mistake like that. So I got to decide, do I want to bring something back twice, or do I want to Flying Scissor once? Do I want to bring something back twice and only Flying Scissor once, or do I want to bring Flying Scissor in and kill 2 things? I decided to go ahead and play the Stratos, and I think bringing Stratos from the Abyss is the play here. because I gotta find something that can manage these tokens. And I think, well, yeah, no, I wanted to bring him back because I gotta get my hands, I gotta get him in hand. All right, so he's gonna play, I think that was Renagi Vogel, and here it comes. Now, in hindsight, I think I should have played Cursed Passages, and probably Stratos, discard my hand for the next turn. I'm putting away a little too much accessories here. Discarding 6 and 3 of them being items and spells, or actually only 3 of them being wonders, is something that's not ideal, especially Reforged Summoning Platform. That card is becoming more valuable now the more that I play this deck, because that's the best way to get some of these big stomping cards out, like Divine Bloodbearer and Nocturna. Now I've got Ward of Serendipity in here. I've got 2 copies, I think, and I might lower it down to 1. It's a great card to have against spells like Godsky Eerie or other spells that are going to really wipe the board. Maybe even like Corruption Warp, that's really going to hurt me. But having 2 of them, you know, if I can just get 1 down, a lot of destroy items just don't seem to fire off. They're not getting played right now. So having 2 of those seems a little excess. So he's going to create some tokens there and bring in, I think there's some dragon tokens. And I haven't seen this. You know, I would assume it was going to be more bugs or something that can work alongside the tokens he has now, but I think that gives him some flexibility, so I can appreciate that. Now at this point, I think my play is to try to get some stones early and have them run out of actions before he can take them all. Problem is now I've got 2 of my big cards, but I've got nothing to bring them back from the Abyss. I did get my Witch Warden, but my deck is not, my Abyss is not full enough. I am happy with the lands that I'm coming out with. Clear Sky, Twilight Marsh. Got a nice diversity of land. So at this point I'm thinking Fortune Dealer, do we get some cards in the Abyss? Do we do Wave Whisper Bay and just get another land out there? Maybe I can see what's coming up next. And yeah, that might be the play. Wave Whisper Bay, see what's on top, and then maybe I'll want to deny it with Fortune Dealer. And I didn't see my search there. I'm not sure. I just missed that on the recording, so I don't know what it was, but I went ahead and buried it. I think also as I'm playing more, here's a little insight that I've learned. Probably something that a lot of pro players know. Burying can be strategic. Burying a card, if you know you can get through your deck, having a card you want for the end game, definitely bury it because you know you'll hit it before you run out of cards. So it does help to know where some cards are, or to know that you're not going to get a card because it is buried. So don't throw away burying like it's gonna be a card you never see again. And Jay, I can appreciate, he is a thorough player. He's really examining all of my cards and his cards and looking at all his options. He's going to attack in Realm 3 to take that stone. You can tell, like, before a lot of his moves, you know, one of the bad things about playing on Tabletop Simulator is you can see their cursor and the cards that they're looking at, and you kind of figure out what cards they might have in hand that they're considering playing or where they're thinking about playing. So that is one bad thing, but it is admirable. You know, he's really weighing out all his options, and that's one thing that I got to balance, is not just knowing the cards to have some speed, but also, weighing all your options, because I will miss things. And so I can appreciate Jay that he's, you know, really taking his time. And this is where I'm just like, you know, do I need to tap something? Do I need to harvest a land so I can play something? Because again, I'm just kind of getting over anxious here that he's doing so much, and I have no answers to anything. And here comes the Scale Whisper. Pretty much knew that was coming in a token. And then the tough thing with these dragons is when he attacks, they just fly all over the board. It's really hard to mitigate. At this point, you know, the best thing in this deck to help with token management on the opponent is an Autumn Essence, where I can just, well, not Autumn Essence. Desolation would help. That's not in this deck. That's another thing that I was trying to I had to learn was Autumn Essence. For some reason, I thought it put everything in the Abyss, and instead it just brings everything out. So Autumn Essence is really, I always thought of it more of a defensive card, but it really is more of an offensive card. Get everything out of your Abyss onto the table. Problem is that it also takes everything from your opponent's Abyss. So as I kill things, or as I destroy things, those things are going to come back if I have an Autumn Essence. It's one of those balances that I need to figure out with this deck. Is, do I want to have some destruction, like Summon Crush and Rock, or Desolation, or Blasting Duel? I don't think there's Blasting Duel in this deck. But if I Autumn Essence at the end, it's going to bring all those things back. And the good thing about this deck is I'm going to bring back more Wonders, but their Wonders that are coming back could trigger something else that'll help them with the deck. But going on to round 6, I have some pretty good actions stored up. He has two untapped lands, maybe 3. So I definitely have more actions. The problem is I just don't have the cards, and I don't have the stones to help me get more cards. And I think that's one of the things that I should have been more aware of at this time. I really needed to go aggressive here because I need to go into 7 with more energy. And this is where it really hurt me too, because I got some cards I want to get in the Abyss. But number 1, I already discarded a Reforged Summoning Platform, and I don't have a great way to get these cards out of my hand, except if I overdraw. Baron could put some cards in the Abyss. That's one thing that I always overlook. Baron is more of a item destruction play, but he does deny. And in fact, a game later on that I'll do a commentary on, he will put some good cards in the Abyss for me. He does come in clutch. So it's tough because Baron cannot get rid of Galactic Sovereign Throne, but he does come with the extra denial ability. Now we get the Reforged Summoning Platform, but we got nothing good, and I don't think we still have anything good in the Abyss. So I'm just kind of thinking, do I just need to draw out my hand? Do I just need to use this turn to draw and fill my Abyss? Again, I think I should have gone a little bit more aggressive, maybe tap a couple or harvest a couple of lands, because I need to get some stuff out on the board. I don't have enough to just make any moves. And Jay is really good at his passing game. He will believe every turn that he started, every turn that he was player 1, he passed, because he knew that if I passed, I'd be going into another round in a losing position. So definitely that was the biggest thing I learned, is going into any realm, but especially round 7, he will just pass and let you go first, essentially. So I guess I do overdraw my hand, try to get something in the Abyss, and the question is, do I put Nocturna or Divine Bloodbearer? I went ahead and go with Nocturna, because I do have Fortune Dealer in my hand. I do have Baron. Got 3, 5, 6 lands on the board. Potentially 7 actions with the Witch Warden. I'm sorry, with the Twilight Marsh. And he's gonna pass his first turn. So I need to decide. Do I want to go ahead and bring Nocturna back? It is going to use a big chunk of my energy. Now there are some things that I can deny, but it's a lot of tokens. So it's going to take a lot of denying Wonders to get some nulls on those tokens. And I do have about 10 actions on this turn, or 9 actions, maybe 10. I decide to go ahead and put out Fortune Dealer. I'm gonna put him in realm 7 because nothing can fly over there. Well, I didn't say nothing, but I don't think he's gonna fly over there. So maybe I can try to take some of the mid stones and the end stone. Try to at least get some of the lower hanging fruit, so to speak, or lower hanging stones. Is it lower hanging stone fruit? Also, at this point, this was real tough. A little bit of outside knowledge here, but me and Jay had just kept missing each other. He had a weird work schedule, and of course me with the kids. Sometimes when he was available on the off hours, those were like dad hours for me. And so we were the last match of this round in the tournament, and everyone was waiting for us. And I'm gonna deny 2 to see if we can get anything good in the Abyss. Now we do get Necropolis of the Durned, and so that's nice. That's nice to get basically a free action out of Eternal. But yeah, so this was. I'm also dealing with not only the game, but also the time crunch, the stress that comes with that. So this was, I don't even think I think I conceded by the time I ran out of actions and I knew I couldn't do anything. At this point, I'm really just floundering, and I hate that you have to see that. I'm just trying to get some good things in the Abyss, see what else I can get. I'm really reaching for Autumn Essence. Maybe I can try to get some stuff in the Abyss and then Autumn Essence it out to try to have a chance. But again, I'm kind of running out of actions here. And I don't know if he knows what I'm doing. I know after our game, real quick, we talked a little bit, and he said, "Yeah, I think I knew you were going for the Autumn Essence because he plays a lot of Umberthine." So there's Gorash. Gorash is good because I can bring Gorash back, and then he can bring something else back. Twilight Marsh has Eternal, so I'm getting good action economy. So this deck, that part of this deck is at least firing off. And I've still got one more Reforged Summoning Platform in the deck, I believe. And I don't know if you saw, I have about 15 or 16 cards left in the deck. So I am going through. I am getting through some of the deck, which is what I realize is very valuable for this deck, is to get through the deck. How many times did I say deck? And at this point, I think he's just passing. I think he's just waiting for my turns to run out, which is a very annoying strategy, but it's very valid. And for him, I think it's even more strategic because he doesn't have too many lands out. So he's got to be really careful with his actions. So, I mean, I do applaud that. It's also just annoying. And at this point, I'm just drawing. I should have just played and not waste an action drawing. Now the Crystal Mouse is nice, but again, that's going to be an action to play it. Now I do wonder, I don't know if we were keeping track, but since he passes a lot, I mean, we get a lot of passes out there. There's a rule that if you pass 21 times, you lose the game. But as long as you're aware, that shouldn't be an issue. So he's just letting me play it out, and let's see what happens. I'm going to draw 2 more cards. I'm still hunting for that Autumn Essence. One thing I haven't figured out in this deck, or any deck really, is when is it advantageous to harvest more than one land at the same time versus just harvesting one at a time and letting the opponent have an opportunity to do something. I still haven't figured that out. I mean, harvesting more than one land at a time is ideal for time saving, which I think I do at one point in this game. But I don't. I don't know what the benefit of harvesting multiple lands at once can do, other than like maybe stacking some different effects. Now, since I did sack Mouse, Twilight Marsh will give me 2 actions, so that's a nice bonus because I don't know if I was able to kill or sacrifice anything else on the board. So at least I got, I did use an action to play Mouse, but that let me get 2 actions in return. That's a nice little bonus with this deck. An easy way to fire off Twilight Marsh. And you're just going to see me try to, run out my deck here. So I'm going to play Baron. He does come in pretty costly at 2 energy, but the denial will hopefully be something worth it. The other problem is this leaves me with just enough energy to reforge Summon Platform. So there's not too much I can do left with the energy that I have. And I probably, all of this stuff I could have really done some damage with Nocturna. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you're going to be denying and you have Nocturna in the graveyard or in the Abyss and you're holding Reforged Summoning Platform, go ahead and reforge, return Nocturna, and at least be denying with her on the board. We get a Great Usurper. I think I'm going to take that out of this deck. It's nice to have when you have it. It's a nice, cheap, but powerful wonder. But he just hasn't come into handy. He's really great in Realm 1, because that kind of helps me hold Realm 1, but that's really all I've been able to use him for. And Jay's there again, just biding his time. And I get to reveal the top card. There's the Autumn Essence that I was looking for. So now Jay probably knows what I'm hunting for or what I'm trying to get. And I'm going to draw it. Now the next question is, how do I get this in my Abyss? I need to get him in my Abyss because I don't have the energy to play him. So it would have been nice to be able to deny him into the abyss if I knew it was coming, but I don't have anything else that's going to let me deny it. Now here comes the Witch Warden. At this point, I'm not sure what's worth bringing back. I can do Nocturna or I can do Baron. It's a little late for Nocturna. Baron becomes a big hitter, but he's only good for one realm, and he's just biding his time. I mean, I admire Jay for just sticking to his guns, because I'm just sitting here floundering, and God bless him too for just letting me sit here and flounder. I tapping one land at a time, you know, trying to draw into something that'll let me discard my Autumn or get me some energy, like maybe a Crystal Mouse, and then I'm also denying these lands that are coming out on the board and just giving me more actions to draw out the game more. And I'm also like, I gotta get going. Like, I got things to do. I wasn't pressed for time, or otherwise I would have saved it and we would ask to come back to it. But yeah, it was definitely getting into crunch time here, and I'm just floundering. Energy is very valuable, and I did not use it. Energy and action. This is a great game to go over, like, just how valuable the economy of actions and energy is. Speaking of which, I do get a Crystal Mouse, so that'll give me 2 more energy. I'm still too short from being able to play Autumn. Actually, I think it's going to make me 3 short. I just don't get anything. I get another Wave Whisper, and he's counting the cards in my hand. He's like, how many cards you got, man? Now, to get energy, there's still a Phoenix Quill in here. I don't remember if I mulliganed Phoenix Quill or if it's just sitting on the bottom of my deck. That'll give me 3 energy. Now it will, take an action, but at least I'll have 3 more energy. And I think that's what I need, because if I can get the Phoenix Quill in my hand without spending any more energy, then that'll give me enough to play Autumn Essence. The Charging Polpo needs to go on the bottom of the deck. And I think this is where Jay taught me, you can just search one and it'll show you the top card of your deck, so you don't have to show it to the world. And I'm going to draw into a Gorash. This is so frustrating. I can't get any cards that I can't get any energy to play the cards that I want to play. And not only that, I don't have energy to attack and get stones. Actions to attack and get stones. That's the other frustrating thing. So, I can sit here all day and try to draw cards, but until I get something to let me play and attack, it's just running. There's the Phoenix Quill sitting at the bottom of my deck. So now I get to play the Phoenix Quill. I'm going to go ahead and tap for some actions. And I guess to save time, I'm going to tap 3 lands, 4 lands, 3 lands. And that's it. I got Witch Warden, but that's it. So now the question is, I'm going to play Quill, obviously. Get the 3 energy, obviously. Do I play Autumn Essence and try to bring something out from the Abyss? Or do I also bury my hand and try to draw into that last card that's at the bottom of my deck? Which I can't remember what it was. I'm not sure if it was very helpful. And Jay just sits there. That should be the name of the game. The name of this game is And Jay Just Sits and Texan Just Flounders. Alright, so he's going to play something here, make me sacrifice the Quill, and that sucks. That sucks. So great item management there. And I don't think, is that a core card? I don't think that's a core card. So that could be a great card for item destruction. Carry Honest Moth, it doesn't get rid of the item, but it does nullify it. But yeah, since he destroys my Phoenix Quill, I'm stuck with 5 energy, and there's just not much I can play. I have 2 actions left. That's not enough to get any meaningful stones. I mean, even if I get 3 stones with 3 actions, or the 3 actions that I have left, which were eventually, it's just not enough. And I'm thinking, oh, can I bring back Caden Wind Whisper like for an extra action? It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I don't have any. I don't know. Are there any cards that bring items back from the Abyss? I don't think so. You can bring an item back from Banishment, right, with Nexus, but nothing that'll help me bring back the Curse Passing for Pain. And he's just sitting pretty there, and he's just biding his time. There you go, biding his time. So I can bring back something with Witch Warden. But again, it's not going to be anything that's going to win me the game. And at this point, again, being crunched for time, I just have to sit here and think, is there any way I can win this? I'm going to attack in 7 to get the stone. And, who cares, right? Because he can still get the stone in realm 7. We're tied in 1 and 5. So I'm happy with that. So he can't quite take it from there, but he's still got some actions where he can try to do something. I'll attack in 6, get the stone there, and that's pretty much all I can do. So all he has to do is just take 1 stone, and he can take the stone in 4. But I guess I do have one more tap that I can do. So I can tap Witch Warden, bring something back, and win the stone in 5 or 6. But again, is it gonna win me the game? Now I can also bring back Gorash into realm 1, trigger him twice to bring back something else. But again, he's still got all his actions on his stuff. And he's gonna Ethereal Grove my Great Sky Yuri. So that's gonna be something. I wonder what he's gonna do there. Alright, so I'm gonna tap my Witch Warden. I'm gonna bring back, I don't think Baron is the play. I don't think Baron's the play. Now, also, the Witch Warden, I don't remember, does it have to go back into this realm or target realm? I think it's target realm. Or no, it is this realm. So Baron's got to go into 2, which is fine because Baron's going to just trounce anywhere he is. So I do need to pay attention to where I put Witch Warden. Now, maybe I should have, I think I should have brought back Gorash. Because if I can bring back Gorash, he triggers to bring back something else in realm 1 that can then give me some power to attack realm 1. I got power to defend. Man, I don't know. There's just so much going on here. And it's probably not even that much. It's just a lot for me. And he brings out the Pollen Spewer, so he's going to bring out the tokens, and there's just no way I can win. With the action that I have left. The action, not actions, right? The action that I have left. And he's got that in the Clear Sky Eerie realm that he's copied. So he can easily just take a stone from me. Because that's also all he has to do is he just has to take 2 stones from me because I can attack in 2 and take the stone. Then I'll have 3 and he'll have 1. If he can just take the stone in realm 2, that would be great. But I just don't think there's anything I can do. I think this is the point where I concede. Because again, I had to get going. I really wanted to play Autumn Essence. He knew that was coming. He killed my Quill. That would have let me play that. It was a great play. And yeah, so with my 1 action, I would have probably attacked realm 2. But then he would have attacked realm 7. We would have tied there. And then he still had actions to attack. Because he had the Pollen Spewer. That would have given him enough wonders to attack and do that. So yeah, he knew that was coming. I think he knew that's what I was fishing for. He knew I was fishing for something. And yeah, he would have blasting dueled it. Of course, I could have also brought it back with Witch Warden. So, it was a tough play. I was in a predicament, and I'm sure there's a winning line. I'm sure the comments are going to be filled with, Texan, you could have done this. You should have done this. I'm like, 100%. That's why we got to play these games. That's why I want to share it with you. I know this was a little bit more of a boring game, and I'll tell you this, the next 2 games are much more interesting. This one was just, I wasn't in the greatest mindset, mind space, what do you call that? The headspace. I wasn't in the best headspace. I was crunched for time. Jay, was a very patient player. I really appreciate that, and it was tough for us to try to get this game in. One of the hard things about doing an online tournament is, you get a week to play. Some people are going to take that whole week to play, and everyone else is just waiting for you. So I had that on my shoulders too, and I shouldn't have had it on my shoulders, but yeah, that's kind of where we were. So great game. Let's go into the epilogue, into the recap. So there you have it, the game with JayFire. Thank you, JayFire, for the good game, being such a good trooper, teaching me about the importance of passing. When you are starting the round, you're winning, you want to pass. So if you're winning, you want to give your opponent the first chance to run out of actions, to run out of energy, and to be more on the reactive than the proactive. I think there are some benefits probably that I just am not well versed in on when you want to go first in the last round. Maybe you want to go ahead and just control the board, but I don't know if you want to do a board wipe. I guess it depends on what the opponent's going to be doing, as well as just learning some ins and out of my own deck. I'm figuring out now that getting through my deck, when you're playing Reanimate, you gotta fill the Abyss. You can't sit there and hold cards in your hand and just wait until you can play them. You got to just discard them. There are more cards coming. I think that's a huge thing to know, is know your deck, but also know that, you know, sometimes you just got to get rid of good cards so you can get good cards too. And I think that's what it was, is I was already drawing poorly. I didn't want to draw more poorly. But overall, you know, I'm disappointed in how the game went, but it certainly could have gotten a lot worse. And Jay was a fantastic opponent, and I learned so much from him. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. I've got 2 more of these videos. One of them is going to be a commentary just like this one. The other one, we do have gameplay footage because it was recorded by Capricorn. I don't remember which one's next. I think Capricorn's next. So we'll take a look at that game there, and then we can see the bracket. The finals are going to come up. We're also going to try to live stream the finals on not only the Discord, but also on the channel. And I'll have a co-host as well, so it won't just be me talking. I'll probably be the less knowledgeable, analytical one. I'll be there more for color commentary. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you want to catch that, make sure you don't miss it. Like and subscribe. And by the way, YouTube really is really weighing likes a lot more. So if you guys don't mind, if you do find any kind of enjoyment on this, give the video a like. This will help. That will help this get out to more people, so we can get wonders in front of more people. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.